Good afternoon, one and all, and welcome to the stream today. I got started a few minutes early today because not only is there a little bit of exposition I have to give you guys regarding kind of the current state of the game, but there's a couple things I need to do before we can actually progress. Now, if you're watching this live or VOD, you probably are aware of the state we left off in at the end of our stream yesterday. Specifically, you're probably aware that we ran into a Shinobi hunter, or a powerful warrior monk, who just seemed to throttle me no matter what I tried. Now, at first I was willing to attribute this to simply me being terrible at the game, certainly not beyond the realm of possibility. But, friends, I was a little curious as to whether there was something more to that fight that I, in my perpetual ignorance, just overlooked or not. So, I did a little bit of research. Specifically, I looked at the way a couple other people online were handling that particular fight. And, as it would happen, yes, there is, in fact, way more to that fight than, like, appearance would have you believe. See, this entire area, which right now, I suppose I should kind of brief everybody as to what's going on. We are playing From Software's Sekiro Shadows Die Twice, and we are actually in the past, at our master's estate during the Dragon Spring Pilgrimage, which apparently is an event of some great historical significance. And the estate is being raided by a rather powerful clan of bandits, being overseen jointly by their king and this Shinobi hunter warrior monk, who I have had just a proper time with. And it looks like what's going on is that this area is meant to kind of act as an informal tutorial in, like, the application of certain techniques and equipment. Like, if you'll recall, there were these two bandit guards armed with, like, kind of rough scrabble tower shields that gave me a bit more difficulty, but that I was still able to navigate quite successfully with the tools and equipment I have at present. But that I was able to extrapolate, I probably should have dealt with using one of the two pieces of equipment I gathered while exploring this area, specifically some kind of Shinobi axe that was specifically mentioned to have some kind of guard breaking or like armor shattering ability that I just haven't gotten back to the sculptor and fused to my Shinobi prosthetic yet. So I'm going to go back and do that just to gain access to that and the other tool we acquired in this little zone, like some kind of Shinobi flamethrower that's probably going to be really cool. But it would appear that those guards weren't the only opportunity for the application of new techniques and equipment. No. Instead, friends, this game appears to outright require you to purchase new techniques or acquire new Shinobi prosthetic tools at various junctures, and will introduce certain enemies or challenges that will be virtually insurmountable unless you are a player of phenomenal skill, which I am not, at various points. Case in point, the Shinobi hunter. Now, I'll explain a bit more in detail when we actually square off with him once again, but suffice to say, it appears I need to purchase a specific skill in the Shinobi skill tree in order to be able to actually counter his moves effectively. There was a reason why I was kind of generally unable to dodge or counter most of his moves, and it's not the fact that they were unblockable. I'm not quite that poor yet. So first things first, we're going to talk to the sculptor and have him affix these new tools to our prosthetic. So if you'll recall, the dragon rot is a disease that gradually afflicts those whom we interact with as we die more and more, which is quite unfortunate, as I've died quite a lot to the Shinobi Hunter and the other, like, mini-bosses we've encountered alone. Okay, so we've got the loaded axe, great. One strike can easily turn a wooden shield into splinters or shred an enemy's posture, so this is going to be effectively our heavy attack. Great, I will gladly affix this to the prosthetic. It also was mentioned in, like, the Shinobi tool, like the Axe of the Monkeys description, I believe, that it can be used to, like, fragment wooden armor or jingasa, like the footmen's hats as well, so that's going to be quite useful. And now we also have the Flame Vent. Deals fire damage to enemies via a short-range blast of fire while also inflicting the burn status. It is difficult to control the rage of those with red eyes through the power of man alone. They do, however, fear the flame above all else. This tool has the power to make them tremble, so it can be used to control maybe some, like, raging beast-type enemies. Great. Oh, we get a little gift. Very good. Prosthetic Esoteric Text, a book of secrets that details a variety of techniques for use with the Shinobi prosthetic. Grants the ability to learn prosthetic-style skills. Written by a man who abandoned the path of the Shinobi, but could not bring himself to discard his painstaking research. He never expected to pass these on to anyone else. So this is the second branch of skills we've acquired, along with the Shinobi-style techniques that we're about to be leveling up. Okay, now we said we can go talk to the physician about this dragon rot disease, and hopefully we can find a way to cure our allies of this horrific affliction, which, also, it should be noted, decreases the chances per death that we will be able to retain all of our money and experience. So my interest in curing these folks is not purely, altruistic. Far from it. I don't want to lose my stuff every time I die. Okay, so maybe I was wrong. I thought, like, maybe the sculptor was Dogen, but perhaps not if the physician would have been able to, like, recognize him. Okay, so we'll just have to give her some time to research the dragon rot, and hopefully she can find some kind of way to, like, impede its, virulence in some way or another, because I definitely don't want to decrease the chances of receiving unseen aid any further without having some way to get it back. So, before we proceed any further, we are going to be acquiring some skills, as I said earlier, because one particular skill, friends, that I was considering getting earlier but did not have the skill points for, is actually the key to cutting down that Shinobi Hunter in fairly short order. So let's take a look-see here. It's this one right down here, the Makiri counter. This is the one, if you'll recall, if you watched our previous stream, enables me to kind of perform a perfect counter on enemies who are thrusting at me with their weapons, to pin the weapon to the ground, and then follow up with a nice counterattack by pressing the circle button. But it's got to be fairly tight, like the timing on this, I believe. Now, I had actually considered purchasing this during my repeated failures against that Shinobi Hunter during yesterday's stream. But I thought, well, no, most of his attacks are prefaced with that kind of red warning symbol appearing above my character's head. So, like, maybe they're totally unblockable attacks. And it would appear that in many cases that appears to be so. They're unblockable attacks. They're kind of easily contravening our standard, like, L1 button block with our blade. But this specifically is not a block. It's like a perfect parry or counter that does not apply to that unblockable status. Does that make sense? Probably not, but that means that it's more of a parry or a riposte in Dark Souls terminology. So this would still be applicable to any attack that would constitute a thrust. So based on what I've seen, 3 or 4 of these consecutively will shatter his guard, his posture, and allow me to deal a death blow, meaning if I can get the timing down, and that's a big if, it'll kind of trivialize him. So I'm going to go ahead and blow 2 of our 4 skill points on this Mikiri counter so we can hopefully progress a bit further. Very nice. And that opened up 2 new potential techniques for us. The latent or passive skill, Suppress Presence, that reduces the enemy's ability to perceive those who are in stealth. Very nice. I might want to look into that a bit further, or a bit later on. But it also unlocked this. Ending sprints by sliding, which will put us in a crouched position. So kind of allowing us to slide into cover. Nice. Okay, that might be useful. I'm kind of liking these blue-framed techniques. They seem to be based around enhancing our mobility. But we've also unlocked the prosthetic arts, which have loads of these blue skills I'm quite fond of. The Chasing Slice we have for just 1 skill point, a Shinobi martial art that allows one to perform a forward dashing sword slice after using certain prosthetic tools, allowing one to close distance on enemies instantly. Okay. Might be situationally useful. But also the grappling hook... Oh, grappling hook attack. Uses the grappling hook to launch oneself at an enemy and use that momentum to perform a rolling sword attack. Okay, so I can kind of launch myself at an enemy and close the distance thusly. That might actually be really useful against some of those archers or riflemen who have been giving me some trouble thus far. So I'm not sure what path I want to take with this. We've also got this whirlwind / kind of crowd control technique. I am not sure which path I want to progress down. Leave me a comment if there's anything in the chat or the VOD, if there's anything you think might be particularly useful that I've kind of neglected thus far. But I've got 2 skill points. I could blow them on the Suppress Presence buff, or I could get any of these other 4 skills. And I'm just not sure what I want to do quite yet. I know that every death costs me a bit more EXP that I've accumulated, so don't want to be particularly stingy with it. I think, you know what, it might be worth it just to go ahead and get the grappling hook attack for now. And woo, we have unlocked some fairly costly skills. The Nightjar Slash, a spinning leap attack that closes or creates distance. Okay. And, a pretty costly skill that will increase the potency of Emma's medicine, so like our gourd. Very nice. So, or recovery items in general, so that would also apply to those fairly impotent pellets that we've been having to rely on. So tell you what, I think what I'm going to do, just based on the skills I have available to me right now, is maybe see how rapidly we can build up skill points, and then maybe purchase the Suppress Presence buff, uh, Emma's Medicine's potency, and then come back around to the Whirlwind Slash and open up the skill tree over here, because I think there might be some kind of useful stuff over here. And we also have... Oh, we could see what these are. I guess maybe now that I've unlocked skills of equivalent potency on this bottom tree. So we've got the Shinobi's Karma Body buff. Just increases the maximum number of spirit emblems that can be held. Don't think we'll need that quite yet. And a mid-air guard might be really, really useful in the event that we have to deal with a lot of, like, attacks launched from the ground or, like, missiles at any one time. So we'll keep those in mind. But right now I think I'm going to go ahead and preserve this last skill point and travel back to the Hirata Estate path. Shrine. Right? Or, no, these are idols, not shrines. Alright, now that actually squares away most of our, like, preliminary preparation, and hopefully we can make some progress. Really quickly, I want to equip our other two prosthetic tools. The loaded axe, which costs 2 emblems per usage. And the flame vent, which, is going to cost 3. So we want to be a little sparing in our usage of these initially, as we only have a maximum count, or maximum kind of dross of 15 spirit emblems at a time right now. So how do I swap between my Shinobi tools? There we go. Oh, look, and you can see it actually affects the appearance of the prosthetic dependent upon the axe, the tool we're going to be using at a particular time. Very nice, I like that. You can see we've got our hatchet kind of primed and ready to go. I want to try it out on those guards with the tower shields, if we can. Hey there, guys! Let's see if I actually remember how to maneuver through combat situations effectively. Alright. So I might want to just get this guy out here really quickly. No? No, I can't kite him over here. That is going to be slightly problematic. Ooh, we've got 2 archers. Oh. Slightly problematic. I'm mainly cutting these guys down to get us a bit more EXP. Thankfully, the bandits have pretty weak posture. Got more oil, that might be pretty handy now that I've got this flamethrower, but... don't know exactly what I can do with that right now. Like if it would be useful against mini-bosses and breaking their posture or something like that. Oh, and seeing that looter reminded me, we were given a tip-off that there's a triple-tiered pagoda that might have some pretty useful treasure somewhere in this compound. Okay. Gonna go ahead and bring down the axeman first. Because those guys actually have some pretty decent poise and powerful attacks. Okay. Got him, and now we're going to go ahead and try out this axe. Oh, very nice! It opened him up for a death blow immediately! Oh, that's what I'm talking about, guys. Oh, I would be happy to attack you, sir. There we go. Oh, brilliant. Brilliant. No muss, no fuss. We'll probably need to pop a pellet before I head over here, just in case. Now, if you'll recall, our quarry should be right over there, and he'll be backed up by a few guards, like 4 of them. Yeah, there he is, right over there. He's the guy right over in the white robes. So what I want to do, ideally, yeah, is drop all 4 of the guards without him becoming alert to my presence. Starting maybe with this archer over here. Let's just see what we can do. Ah, we alerted somebody, that's great. Let's bring him down quickly, hopefully without raising another alarm. Which we appeared to do, that's great, so... Now we just need to take care of those 2, and we will be all set to, challenge the Shinobi Hunter. Who, if you did not see yesterday's stream, is extremely powerful. And there's a reason for that, as I said. It looks like he's intended to, act as a tutorial of sorts for our perfect parry against thrust attacks. That's why I was kind of unable to break his guard, and he was just kind of tossing me about there with ease. Okay, so there should be a 4th guard somewhere around here. I'll go ahead and drop down. Let's stick to the cover over here. Now, what I don't like is that every time you jump or land anywhere, hold on 1 second, guys. I do love that, unlike other FromSoft titles, you can actually pause in this one. Hold on, so Gaming Spanners, hey, so good to see you, man. Oh, it says, you're still having the, issue with the stream. Okay, so that probably does have something to do with my, output quality. So give me just a minute, guys. I'm going to drop this. It shouldn't really be noticeable for most of you, but as I said, it seems like one of our viewers is having an issue, so we're going to cut this, and hopefully it should resolve the issue without causing any significant decrease in quality. So give me 1 second, we're going to cut the stream and be right back, okay? And no trouble at all, Gaming Spanners. I am more than happy to help you or any members of my audience, alright? So hopefully this should improve things on your end. Give us just a moment. Maybe I can drop this. Well, no, I'm going to have to cut the broadcast, so we'll be right back, okay? No problem.